Coming up on SportsCenter, the once big beast of the East sharpens its tournament knife as Georgetown was at the Carrier Dome today. A crucial test for East versus West in the NBA. At the Spectrum this afternoon, the Lakers and Sixers. And Boris is back in a tennis final, this time against the best from Sweden. All of that coming up next on SportsCenter. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this Sunday edition of SportsCenter with Gail Gardner. I'm Tim Brando, and in college basketball, it's the time of year when the good teams seem to be getting better.
The good teams get better, and it's really crunch time because the various conference titles are being decided, and a big one today at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. An NCAA record crowd for a basketball game on hand to see the 9th-ranked Orange men take on the 11th-ranked Hoyas of Georgetown, both chasing Pitt for the top spot in the Big East. Now, earlier this year, these two teams went to overtime, a game won by Georgetown by a single point, and today's game decided by 1 point as well. 36,602 fans at the Dome, an NCAA record, breaking the previous mark also at the Dome. Close first half, Hoyas work it inside to Perry McDonald, and he hits the left-handed hook, draws the foul as well. But here's Syracuse now beating the press, and finally it's Sherman Douglas who will feed Ronnie Cycli for the jam. Cycli 23 points, 39-35 Syracuse at the half. Early second half, Syracuse extending the lead. Sherman Douglas on the break, lobs the ball for Derek Coleman, and the Orange take the lead. Then Georgetown erupted. Reggie Williams finally heating up, hands the three-pointer. Syracuse now looking lazy, bringing the ball up. Williams with the steal, goes in for the jam. The Hoyas on an 18-0 spurt, up 51-48. Syracuse looking flat now. Greg Monroe's shot blocked by McDonald. Down the other way, McDonald in for the slam. Hoyas rolling 26 for Perry McDonald, a career high. And finally, McDonald again going over the much larger Ronnie Cycli. And Syracuse would put on a rush at the end of this game, but it fell short. The Hoyas winning 72-71. The Hoyas now 21-4, 10-4 in the conference. Syracuse 22-5, also 10-4 in the conference. Both tied for second place, one game back of Pitt in the Big East. Meanwhile, a key Metro Conference showdown between Louisville and Memphis State. And Memphis State taking off quickly. Marvin Alexander to Vince Askew, the backdoor cut. 6-0 Tigers out on top. Louisville didn't have a field goal until 12:30 left in the first. Purvis Ellison hits the turnaround from Herb Crook. Tigers by 1. Memphis State kept the pressure on. Dwight Boyd with the nice one-on-one move. 31-23 Tigers at the half. Second half now, and it's Dwight Boyd once again. He misses, but Sylvester Gray is there for the nice follow. Tigers by 8. 44-38, but the Cards make a run. Keith Williams canning the three-pointer, 49-44 Tigers, 55-54 Tigers, 1:30 left. Williams another three-pointer, 57-55 Louisville. 25 seconds left, same score. John Wilfong with the jumper, that's good. We're tied at 57. Louisville now with a chance to win it, but Keith Williams' shot is off. Alexander outlets to Dwight Boyd, who is then fouled by Williams coming the other way with a second left. Boyd misses the first shot. On the line now for shot number 2. That one he makes, and the junior guard pulling it out for Memphis State as they beat Louisville by the score of 58-57. The Tigers staying alive for a shot at tying the Cards for the Metro Conference title. The Cards 8-3, the Tigers 7-4. Tim?
Were it not for 3 last-minute points from Georgetown, DePaul would be the nation's #1 team. Today, the Blue Demons were at home at the Rosemont Horizon to take on a Georgia Tech team that's been playing well of late, particularly off their performance yesterday at Duke. And Dallas Comegys was dunking as usual. This time off the alley-oop, a three-point play, but Georgia Tech led early in this one. Now, if you're not on a window, here's what the reverse angle looked like on the Duncan Dallas Comegys shot. Remember now, DePaul trailing by 6 are on the break. Strickland shovels to Comegys another dunk. The Blue Demons have enjoyed everything but the lead, but finally they get that with an assist from Comegys. 25-23 DePaul, now out in front for good. And Tech was in trouble the rest of the way. Watch now. Farrell and Tom Hammonds get together, but again, right over Comegys to get the hoop. Then Dalrymple feeds Farrell down low. He's rejected there by Comegys. Then it would be Strickland and company on the other end. DePaul would win this one in a blowout, and Bobby Crimmins' team was in deep trouble at that point. He knew it. 84-67 the final score there. Comegys a career-high 33. Strickland added 28. DePaul now 25-1. Georgia Tech falls to 16-9. Now, in the ACC today, North Carolina State was in a must-win mode at home at Raleigh. And early on in this ball game, it was the interior play of Virginia that was the catalyst. Kennedy, both Mel and Andrew, this time with the drive to give it a 42-28 lead for Terry Holland. Then the Wolfpack cut it to 9. Danny Bolden will drive the baseline. The iron unkind, but the Shaq's machine, Charles Shackelford, puts in the dunk. He draws the tee, but North Carolina State had pulled to within 4. Then the Wolfpack continued to close in. Quentin Jackson knocks the ball away, fires to Bolton for the Jamola. NC State now down by just 1, but then James Jackson hit 4 free throws for Virginia, and then Vinny Del Negro loses the ball. Remember, NC State having all kinds of guard problems. They lost Kenny Drummond about a week or so back, and they're now 14-14 and are destined for the NIT, perhaps. They lose this one 72-65 to Virginia, who are now 18-8 and 6-6 in the ACC.
The Red Foxes of Marist College are coming off the most successful basketball season in their history, which included their first ECAC Metro tournament title and their first appearance in the NCAA tournament. Big key to their continued success, 7-foot 3-inch Dutch center Rick Smits. Don Gould has more on this import from Holland.
You're watching 7-foot 3-inch junior Rick Smits from Eindhoven, Holland, one of the international giants that makes up a large part of the Marist College Red Foxes. And it's Smits who bears the greatest responsibility for the college basketball world discovering that trips to Poughkeepsie, New York can be dangerous to your one-loss record. Marist has won 10 in a row in the ECAC Metro Conference.
We're coming together as a team. You know, we had a pretty rough preseason with all the things going on, and now we're getting it together. And now we're just, we're not at our peak yet. We're going to try to peak at the right time in the playoffs when the NCAA come along.
We've won 10 games in a row, and we won 12 of our last 13. Rick's an All-American, pure and simple. In every sense of the word, he's a great player. I think that for a team at our level, Rick means all the difference in the world. He's the Jeff Ruland of Marist College.
Marist is running away with the conference. Smits is averaging better than 21 points and 9 rebounds per game, and NBA Director of Scouting Marty Blake is impressed.
Well, I think in 2 years he will be a high draft player, because Frank Layden said you can't teach height. He's 7'3", he's got an excellent shooter, he can hook either hand, so what he has to do is work on his upper body strength. People fail to realize that he really hasn't played a lot of college basketball.
He's as American as you or I. He's, McDonald's, the whole thing. He's the kind of kid that is fitting very well here. And when I say an All-American kid, he's just very comfortable here. His dream is to play in the NBA, and he'll adjust to that as well as any American I can imagine.
In Holland, what drew you to the game first?
Well, my mother was playing basketball. So a friend of hers asked me to come, watch a game and maybe come to a practice, and that's how we got started.
It's tough to be 7'3". It's tough to excel in a sport that's as American as basketball's supposed to be, but Smits has adjusted. Don Gould in New York for ESPN.
That's a quality coach, too, young McGarity. He did well at St. Francis, had a brother that played at Georgia, and has a great future at Marist, it seems.
He's certainly taking over the program last year, brought them, as we said, into the tournament, and now 10 wins in a row and looking as good as ever. So
Indeed.
A lot more to look forward to.
We've got a lot more college basketball scores to show you, but that'll happen a little bit later.
Plus an NBA thriller at the Spectrum this afternoon. Of course, the Sixers and the Lakers. And out on the golf course, the final round of the LA Open, final round that goes to sudden death. We'll be back in a minute. Stay with us.
Sports Center is being brought to you by Moet, France's best loved champagne.